Good morning, traders. Hope you're all doing wonderful and having a great week so far. It's Tuesday, time for the Tuesday weekly outlook and setups on the 26th of October. If you're new here, try to do this weekly and providing you the analysis for that I share with my community and I share with you guys as well. Leaving nothing behind. No man gets left behind. Okay, so we're just gonna have a quick look at current price action and see what we can learn from it and what we can potentially look for today. This video will be full of tips and tricks, so make sure to watch it, to rewatch it, and make some notes. Just starting off on the 4 hour, and we can really note that we have this area of demand or order block or a buy zone, followed by this structure break towards the upside, and we had this clean imbalance over there. So from a higher time frame point of view, this is an area for buys, but we tapped into it, we saw us push towards the upside, we broke the structure over here. Then we saw this correction towards the downside, some impulsiveness coming back into the zone, a reaction, but failing to break further towards the upside. So let's just pay attention to what is happening in this area. Price came back towards this wick. We just tapped it, making an equal high. So there's some equal highs probably on the lower time frame. Then we also saw price then failing to make any higher highs by just creating kind of this wedge formation or just compression where price is consolidated, which is good for us because that usually means that there will be some big move coming soon. So we can also just note the most previous liquidity areas. In this case, it's the previous highs and the previous lows. With regards to current price action, we have this low and those highs. That's probably the most recent liquidity points, in my opinion. The price could potentially be reaching for and sweeping those lows. We also have this one down there. So I do think that price can potentially go either way. Currently, I'm not really too biased in either direction. If I had to choose, I would probably say bearishness just because of where we are on the daily. If we just have a look at the daily, we did react off of a daily order block. So I do think bearishness could potentially be more probable than bullishness. And just having a look on the weekly as well. The weekly isn't giving us anything too clear. It's a bit too messy, so we'll stick on the lower time frames for this one. So I do think bearishness is a more probable setup for me personally. So we know we are in a daily order block. We don't need to see that. So we know where we are currently in the market. So on the 1 hour then, let's have a look. So 1 hour liquidity points, I will keep it at those lows. These lows are too close because they're still part of the accumulation that's happening in here. So I'll keep it at that one and those ones. And then we have these equal highs as well. Potentially there will be there's an imbalance in this area. You can see this push down this week already coming back up. No imbalance. And then we started to consolidate and then pushed once to the downside. Also no imbalance left in this area. So everything looks rather balanced. That's why we're probably seeing this price actually moving sideways and not in any direction. So I do think potentially we'll get a manipulation scenario today. Either will my ideal would be if we get a push towards the upside, maybe sweep these highs, immediate highs, and then move lower. So that's the ideal for me. Um, if we just look at it on the 50 minutes, this is a very good area for me. Even though we do not have all the ticks, we have a full body candle. Well, almost full body, but it's close enough. We have a clean leg out. The only thing we don't have is a strong structure break. Then we start consolidating. But we have that area and we do have imbalance there as well, and then this previous high as well. So this could also be a scenario. So let's look at around Frankfurt Open. We can start looking potentially tapping into this area and then giving us a reaction and good entry. That is on the 50-minute. Let's see above it. There's nothing clean or clear, but we can always do is if we see price sweeping above a previous high or low, we can just wait for the 1 minute confirmation. So if price taps into it, we can drop to the 1 minute and then look for price to give us that structure shift and then for us to get an entry based off of the mitigations and the order flow towards the downside. So if that sounds French to you and very strange, then you should watch more of the videos or consider joining the community. That's it for GU. Let's have a look quick at EU. Let's just first get the 4 hour. Remove all the things we have here already. Big push yesterday on the 4 hour, giving us some sense of direction. Very strong structure break over here, and then we have this. Probably say then this would be the order block up there, and we have the imbalance there as well. So usually you would expect price to come back all the way, but I do know it's also possible for price just to maybe sweep some of the immediate liquidity and then go lower. So we don't necessarily going to see price going all the way back towards the upside. So that's also something to take into consideration. The 1 hour, I would refine it back towards this candle for now because we had a small structure break there as well. But this is the most prominent one. And then the most recent liquidity areas, we have this previous high. Let's take this away for now. We have this most recent high and this most recent low. Why do I mark these? Well, obviously because price is tending to magnetate towards those areas. So it usually could be a sense of direction for us. But currently, there's nothing happening in here. This is the range that we're trading within, and you can see it's just really sloppy, messy on the 50 minutes as well. I would like to see price come back to this area. Nice full body candle, clean push out. We have our imbalance there as well. We have all of this liquidity above these highs. So this could be a nice scenario as well. Something like this during the course of the day. If you could see something like that. And also above it, we have some areas as well, which could probably on the 5 minute be a bit more clean or clear. But on the lower time frame, I'll probably consider this area, that last full body candle, but I'll also take the wick into consideration, just because that zone is so small. That could also be an area. So I think those are my current areas for sells today. I don't think I'll be interested in the buys. I think the momentum is rather strong for sells. So I would want to see, I think, sell opportunities more prominent than buying opportunities. Currently seeing nice pushes towards the downside, breaking structure, and coming back to mitigate and moving down lower. So there's some quite nice potential in this area, the Asian session, if you traded at the Asian session. But for London and New York, I'll be looking for more downside movement, and these are my reaction points currently that I'm anticipating. It's still early, so I'll still have a look. It's now Asian session is about to end, so we'll still look just before Frankfurt Open to see what has changed. So it is an early analysis, so keep that in mind. This is not yet set in stone. London is still 3 hours away, so keep that in mind. Aussie dollar, I haven't traded this pair in some time. I think it has just been a bit. Yeah, I'm not exactly a fan, but let's have a look. It's on a daily. We'll mark out the most recent liquidity there and there, the most recent highs and lows, and then on the 4 hour, we can note that these then turn kind of into some equal lows. Then we still have this liquidity high. So the price is currently pushing, so it is possible that price can be reaching for that high, but it's also possible that price could just be reaching for something in this week. 1 hour, we have this area. Let's just put an eye on it. This is a nice area, I do think, for potential sales. So it looks like price is reaching for that area, trying to fill in all of this imbalance that we have over here, sweeping these highs. So I do think that there's potential that we could see price moving very nicely back towards the upside and then looking for an entry in this area, maybe a sweep, a structure breaks, and then for price to continue towards the downside. So it's very important to see some price action in this line of thinking. for us to take a short from this area. So it's something that's on the table. We have a almost a full body candle, but we have a strong leg out imbalance, strong structure break. You can see very strong. Even though it's a minor structure break, we still have it there as well. And then price slowly coming back up into this area. So this does look like a potential sell area for me as well. Okay, guys, that's it from me this morning. Hope you enjoyed it, watched it, rewatch it again. Let's see how the day plays out. Remember, this is just a analysis, not necessarily the truth or a true prediction, but have a look at it and then let's rewatch it later today or at the end of the day and get a sense of where I went wrong, where I could have gone better. Well, not necessarily gone better, but what could have been, what did I miss? So basically, that's it. Use this to educate yourself, and I'll be using it to educate myself as well. Hope you all have a wonderful day and see you all in the next one. Goodbye.